Have you ever wondered if there's like an actual formula for your destiny? I'm not talking about some vague idea, but a real honest-to-goodness blueprint. Well, today we're digging into exactly that, an ancient recipe for our future, found in a discourse called the Gatthakatha.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? Is our life just set in stone? Is it all random chance? Well, this ancient text says, nope, it's a third option. It argues that our destiny is actually a predictable outcome based on some very specific ingredients.
So where are we getting this from? It's a Pali text called the Paṭisambhidāmagga, which basically means the path of analysis. And let me tell you, it really lives up to its name. It's not just philosophical. It gets in there and dissects the whole process, almost like a scientist.
Okay, so here's what's so fascinating. This text doesn't just give us one single path to a good outcome. It shows us that a fortunate new beginning can happen in two completely different ways. It's like a fork in the road of destiny.
And this right here is the key difference. On one side, you have a rebirth that is ñāṇa sampayute, which just means associated with knowledge. You can think of this as starting a journey where you've got the map, and you actually know how to read it. Then on the other side, you have a rebirth that's ñāṇa vipayute, or disassociated from knowledge. Now, the destination might still be good, but you're kind of getting there by accident, without any real insight. The game changer is ñāṇa, wisdom.
Now, to really get this formula, we need one key term, hetu. A hetu isn't just any old cause. It's a root cause. It's the seed, the fundamental thing from which a specific future sprouts. This whole system we're about to unpack is all about counting these essential seeds.
So let's walk down that first path, the path of wisdom. What are the specific root causes, the hetu, that lead to a future that's not just good, but is actually filled with understanding?
The text gives us a number, and it's super clear about it. A rebirth guided by wisdom is conditioned by exactly 8 root causes. Not around 8, not maybe 7, maybe 9, precisely 8.
And this is where it gets really interesting, because those 8 causes, they aren't all positive. They're spread out over 3 crucial moments. First, at the moment of the kamma, the action that kicks everything off, you have 3 wholesome causes. Great. But later, at the moment of nikkhanti, that's the craving for a new existence, 2 unwholesome causes pop up. And finally, right at the moment of paṭisambhidāmagga, or rebirth, 3 neutral causes come in and seal the deal.
So the formula for a wise destiny is 3 plus 2 plus 3. It's this complex mix of the good, the bad, and the neutral. It goes to show that even the path of wisdom isn't some pure, perfect thing. It still includes the reality of craving. So just lock that 3-2-3 structure in your head. All right, so what about that other fork in the road? What does the formula look like when a good rebirth happens, but that key ingredient of wisdom is just not there? For a rebirth that just sort of stumbles into good fortune without really understanding how, the text gives us a totally different number. The whole thing is conditioned by only 6 root causes.
We see the same 3 moments here: action, craving, and rebirth, but the numbers are different. At that initial action, there are only 2 wholesome causes. The moment of craving, that's identical, with 2 unwholesome causes. And then, at the final moment of rebirth, there are only 2 neutral causes.
So this gives us a whole new formula, 2 plus 2 plus 2. It's a much simpler, less powerful combination. When you see it laid out like this, the difference is just boom, right there. You can tell something is missing compared to the path of wisdom.
Okay, let's put them side by side. Check this out. The engine of craving, those 2 unwholesome causes in the middle, is exactly the same for both destinies. The entire difference between a life of clarity and a life of confusion comes down to just 2 missing pieces. 1 wholesome cause way back at the start, and 1 neutral cause right at the very end.
So, the big question is, what are those 2 missing causes, and who is this formula for anyway? Is this some super obscure rule for a select few, or is this like a universal law of how things work?
And the answer brings us right back to where we started. The missing pieces are ñāṇa, their wisdom itself. On the path of ignorance, that initial good deed just doesn't have wisdom backing it up, and the final moment of rebirth isn't connected to wisdom either. It's the presence or the absence of an insightful mind that completely changes the math of your life. And this is not just a human thing. The text makes it really clear that this 8-cause and 6-cause formula is a universal principle. It applies to nobles,
priests, regular householders. It even applies to gods in the sense sphere, all the way up to beings in the formless realms. It's as fundamental as gravity.
So if we boil this entire ancient analysis down to just one core message, it's this. Your destiny is not about luck. It is forged with almost mathematical precision by very specific causes. And the single most important variable in that whole process is the quality of your awareness at the moments that really matter.
Which, leaves us with the question that brings this whole 2,000-year-old formula right into this moment. In the actions you're taking and the future you're hoping for, are you planting the seeds for the 8 causes or for the 6? Is your mind truly present for the journey?